What's up, everybody? This is your boy JD, and we back for another edition of C.A.P. So we're going to cultivate.
What's up, y'all? This is your girl Erica, and we're going to do what? Accumulate.
And together we all will
prosper.
Yeah. So what's good with you, Erica?
Man, it's been a week.
It's been a long week.
A long week. But I can say it's been a good one. So it's been some ups and downs, I'll say that, but it's all good.
Man, life is gonna be life, and we know that to be true. So
it's the weekend now.
Yeah. So, but let's get off into the buzz for this episode here. First buzz, we got 50 Cent has opened G Unit Studios in Shreveport, Louisiana. What's your take on it?
Okay, so I was like looking at that, and I know in 2005 the G Unit Studios, it first came about, and it had things like had the Stars Network, worked on the Stars Network, had Power, Ghost, Raising Canaan. So I'm excited to see what's gritty come from this.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of this whole conglomerate 50 started. I know a lot of people choose sides when it comes to him because he likes to troll and everything like that. But I mean, he's hell of a smart businessman. I like some of his older music, but far as his shows, man, they A1. Of course, I'm a huge fan of Power, the original one. I like Raising Canaan, and I like Power Book 2, which, come to find out, this is supposed to be the last season of that. So I'm ready for that to start. The one with Tommy, it's okay. I thought I would like it more. It's just a little different than when he was on regular Power. But I mean, all of his shows, and then of course he got the BMF, which be tripping me out with the mother on there.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for. I mean, this is the second largest black studio in the nation, so that means it's behind what? Tyler Perry studio. So 50 did something major. So no matter what people say about him and all the other little stuff, I mean, he made a real chess move, and definitely.
I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, I definitely.
And I believe it's going places.
Oh, it will.
Because just like you said, he has a great business sense, and he understands the name of the game.
Yeah, he does. He definitely do. The next buzz topic we have is some guy by the name of Max Azelio, I think that's how you pronounce his name, set fire to himself outside of the courthouse where Trump trial is yesterday. I guess in support, which is crazy. What's your take on that?
Okay, so of course, when I hear about these things, I like to try to go see what other information I can get. And something that I did read is that he did this in the area where there was supposed to be, where he thought it would be more Trump supporters. So my thought is, are you doing this because you didn't see as many Trump supporters as you wanted to, because you are with Trump, or were you trying to set fire to yourself in the hopes that it would get, to some more people out there? You don't really know what the reasoning for it is, but it's a whole lot going on, and 2024 has come with it.
Yeah. Regardless of whether he's a Trump supporter or not, that's really crazy. Damn foolish to do that to yourself. But I mean, it falls in line with what our episode's gonna be today, because mental health is for real.
Definitely.
And that was just crazy. As I don't know whether he's a Trump supporter or a Trump detractor. Nothing or nobody's worth setting yourself on fire for.
And it's interesting you said that, because I did read that he had said something, I think, on his social media, or he's said something along the lines of he has been had psych evaluation. So, yeah, in the past, that was like even before this situation.
Well, that we haven't even head into summer yet, so we about to see a lot of apocalyptic stuff go on with stuff going on in the world. But last but not least, my guy who got the pen game on lock, I like his music, but Neo, I saw on social media, he has 2 girlfriends now, because of course he's divorced from his wife, And so they stopped him and they asked him about that. And so what's your take on it?
You really want me to say?
Yeah.
You got a man with 2 women. Now, I mean, there is the phrase, to each his own. To thine own self be true. But it's not for me. I wouldn't have been one of them. Absolutely, for sure. I already have an issue because if I'm with somebody, I have to be the one and only. This man got 2. Now, some men may think differently and be like, okay, yeah, trophies right on both arms. But, I would love to hear your take on this one.
Well, I mean, polyamorous relationships have become very popular nowadays. It's been around since the beginning of time, but and you got people. I mean, but I guess it is to each his own. Yeah. But people, when they got a certain amount of money, they feel like they can do whatever, and a lot of folks fall in line with it. I'm just tripping because I said, well, maybe Neo, he's so tired, he's so sick of love songs. He decided he wanted to have a variety. You know what I'm saying? But either way it go, and then it has some people saying that he's trying to mask something else. Now I don't know, don't really care. Time would tell. Well, regardless of the fact, he's doing his thing. But yeah, he's like, you make him better, but he need 2 to make him better, I guess. No Fabulous. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that was wild. Seeing him just casually walk and they interview him, and he has 2 of them now. So
and they okay with it.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be okay with it. They're getting paid. They're getting paid and whatever else they getting. So yeah, but that's wild. So okay, Nia, I'm curious to see what new music he gonna write now. You know what I'm saying, but we'll see. So now we done had the buzz. Now we're gonna get to our guest who we have on this show today. I'm proud to have this person on here. I've gotten to know them a few years ago. She has been a mental health counselor for over 20 years, has a private practice, mental health concierge. She's a graduate of Jackson State University, fellow HBCU, also my nemesis, but it's all good. She has a BS criminal justice, BS degree in criminal justice, a master of science in guidance and counseling. She has a nonprofit organization, Breaking the Barriers of Mental Health organization, and she's also a fellow author. Has a book called The Balancing Act, Maintaining a Healthy Life in the World of Sports. So introducing to many and to some, Brandy Flynn. How you doing today?
So when you guys was doing the buzz topics, I really had a lot to say. Can I say a couple things? Okay. So first of all, I am so excited about 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson. I call him both. I am super excited about him in this studio because we know that Tyler Perry is the first Black guy to have a major studio. So for 50 Cent to do it, because he does do a lot of productions, acting, things like that. It goes back to when he did Get Rich or Die Trying, which is my favorite album. Many Men, that is my theme song to this day. Never been shot, but I felt it. But I'm so happy about that. The next guy, please get another psych eval, because the last one you did expired, even if you did it 2 days before you set yourself on fire. You need a whole new one because, yeah, that's a lot. And with Neo, you know what? Neo needs 2 girlfriends because it's clearly he does not believe in monogamy. And you know what? That's okay. I'd rather for him to live his truth, whatever it is, than to continue to have this facade for other women, having them to think that they're going to be the only one. Right. And clearly that's not. So if he has 2 girlfriends and both of them, apparently they know about each other, and they're cool with it, you're not disturbing my life, go right ahead at it, and like you said about the love songs, one thing I know about Neo, he sings songs that does not reflect his life. But I don't know, he might start making some poly songs and them probably going to be some hits too.
Well, yeah, it's a double entendre, but he do what he do. He powerful with the pen, but just seeing that was like, Okay, so
Yeah, because he wrote it's a lot of songs that he wrote, like he wrote Irreplaceable
for Beyonce.
for Beyonce.
Yeah.
Imagine, it's a great song, but just imagine if he would have sang that.
Yeah.
Right. So
That's something to think about right there.
exactly. So he's a wonderful, wonderful, cannot take that away from him. If he never sings again, but his penmanship, he
Yeah.
gonna be able to afford his 2 girlfriends.
Well,
And his ex-wife and his first kid's mother.
yeah.
First set of kids' mother.
When you look at a lot, before we get off into the interview part, when you look at a lot of the great writers and R&B folks or funk folks, R. Kelly, Rick James, they all had multiple situations with women or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So, but they still wrote great songs for themselves and for other people.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, Now, Babyface wrote good songs too. Now, I'm not sure never really heard much going on with him. But, I mean, I'm just talking about just a few folks who have had a lot of extracurricular activities. Yeah. But their penmanship game when it came to love songs or whatever type of songs was fire.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, alrighty. So, I want to go ahead and get off into this first question, Brandy. I want to ask you, what sparked a young Brandy's interest in becoming a mental health therapist?
You know what? Usually when you ask people that's in their careers and they tell you how this is something they always wanted to do and they did this and did that, it was a total opposite. I did not want to be a therapist. You could not have told me, you couldn't have told me when I graduated from college in 2000 that you're going to be a therapist. I'm be like, who? Like, you don't remember my psychology class? I hated it. But because I wanted to be in law enforcement, I wanted to be a federal agent. Yeah, I wanted to kick doors down. I wanted to be in Quantico. That's what I wanted to do. That was the life for me ever since I was 7 years old. I wanted to be in law enforcement. But things didn't work out. And the young me then, I didn't have the faith that I have now to keep going. I gave up. I thought my world was going to end. So I did what normal college graduates do that can't find a job in their field. I became a substitute teacher. And so as I was subbing high school, a lot of kids would come to me to talk to me about their problems, and I couldn't understand why. And I'm like, don't y'all got a school counselor? And like, but man, Miss Flynn, they don't understand and they too busy. And So I'm like, okay, cool. And this is the funny part. So I had another job because I was still in Jackson. I had another job. I worked in the mall, and I saw one of my former classmates that was in my criminal justice program, and she was from Michigan. And I was like, what you still doing here? And she was like, I'm in grad school. I said, you in grad school? And she said, yeah, I'm in the counseling program. She was like, girl, it's easy. Well, I was like, well, I was smarter than her. So she doing well. I can do well too. So I submitted to the program, and here we are. And even when I went to grad school, I still didn't think that I would be doing the things that I'm doing right now because I still wanted to integrate criminal justice. Even though I love what I do, criminal justice will forever be my first love. And I try so hard to integrate the two that it just seemed like what I wanted to do didn't exist. What I do now does not exist. It exists now because I made the way for it. But then I didn't have the tenacity that I have. How I am now, I wasn't that way in my 20s. And right. I wish that I was, but then I kind of think maybe this was the plan for it to be. So yeah, this life chose me.
I always say that if you don't see out there what you're supposed to do, create the life that you want.
Yeah, this is exactly what I say. A lot of times, because even with what I do and how I do it, a lot of people told me that I couldn't. And I was just like, are you saying I can't do it because nobody else is doing it? Is it legal? Is it illegal? Whatever like that. And it was because nobody else was doing it. So it's just like, when I started therapy, I was doing virtual therapy before it became popular. I was doing it pre-COVID. And I had so much slack about it. But then when COVID hit and everybody trying to figure out how they're going to keep their business going, I kept afloat because
You started it
I
before.
was already doing
Yeah,
it. So,
exactly.
I was like,
You was ahead of the curve.
I was ahead. So I didn't have to change my business model. It was already implemented way before COVID even hit.
That is very interesting. And COVID did that for a lot of people.
It did.
People had the 2020 vision and we still had it and
Yeah.
we still worked it.
Yep.
Now, it's interesting that you should talk about being around the high school students. I remember this play that was written for high school students and for even middle school that was called When No One Is Listening, that a friend, Natasha Clay Hill, wrote about these students actually getting into thinking about suicide, and one child did commit suicide. So I wanted to ask you, and that was just in the play, of course, but that's real.
Okay. Yeah, it is.
Because of what students deal with. What would you say to a young senior in high school who is experiencing a heavy load in school, has family issues, works a part-time job, and feeling the onset of a mental breakdown?
What would I say?
To a high school
student is like just the relationship is I'm just me and I just met somebody like this, or I'm the therapist.
It could be either or, even just to.
Okay.
It's so many students going through this even today.
So, and it's I'm glad that you asked that question, and I hope that there are parents who are watching this. I will tell that child to tell their parents that they need to see a therapist. Because when we think about teens, sadly, we place our focus on teens who are delinquents.
Right.
We don't think about the kids who are making the straight A's, top of their class, doing everything that was right. And the thing is, because when I did work with kids, I did have a few seniors, college students. They were stressed out because of trying to get in college, have this high GPA, take AP classes, just community service, trying to get in the best schools. And they were having extreme anxiety.
Yeah.
And it was so much that I could tell them, like, hey, not to say it's not that serious, but you don't have to strive for perfection. And one client that I did have, luckily her parents implemented, we're not asking you to be perfect. Of course, we want you to do your best, but it's okay if you don't make straight A's. It's okay if you're not the valedictorian, but then you have other people that don't think like that, especially those of different cultures.
Right.
So what I would do is was just be a listening ear, because it's sad to say with kids, there's so much that you can do with them because they are minors and, they're still under their parents' house. So I can't give too much, but the only thing that I can be is just a listening ear and just to pour into them that they are doing great, that, to enjoy life as much as possible, to talk, a lot of times I tell them about my college experiences. I tell them that I did do well and I had fun,
right.
And I was able to enjoy it. So I would say I will pour that part into them.
Right. And the reason why I did ask that question is because I have dealt with youth, many youth, and I know Jerry has as well. And it's so much that these teens deal with. And so often we have parents say, yeah. And we have parents say children should be seen and not heard.
Also, they also say, and I tell parents, stop saying this, that you have nothing to stress about. All you have to do is go to school. And I tell parents, do you know that your child is at school longer they are with you? Your child is at school for 8 hours dealing with different personalities.
Exactly.
Just because it may not be stressful to you because, of course, you're not worrying about what somebody's saying about you because you're worrying about how you're going to pay the mortgage. You're worrying about how you're going to pay your light bill. Well, with kids, they don't have those stressors, but they do have stressors. And we should treat them all as important. Even no, regardless if I don't think it's important to me, it's important to you, it's stressing you out. So it's something serious that we need to deal with it. And when I say deal with it, that to help you process and to help you to go through with it. Because a lot of times parents will say, well, that's okay. Well, don't worry about it. And that ain't helpful. That ain't helpful. And that's why I tell parents, if you feel that you're not the type of person that can really listen to your kids, that you can't take that parent hat off, then it's okay to send them to therapy. It does not say that you're a bad parent. Or if there is an adult in the family that they're close to, then allow that child to blossom that relationship. Let that person be their go-to person they can talk to, right, and get it all out. It's not having secrets from you, but your child needs an outlet. And sometimes, I hate to say, sometimes parents are not, well, you know what? Parents my age are, but I would say parents when I was growing up wasn't the best safe place, if that makes any sense.
It does.
That's definitely what you said. Definitely holds some truism to it because the generation gaps from parenting, from our parents to our grandparents to some of us being parents to folks a little younger being parents is definitely a gap,
right, with
how things are done. So what I'm gonna lean into, the question I'm gonna lean into with you is, I know that you're fond of sports just like I am. Being an ex-athlete, I'm assuming, did you play sports in school?
I did not play sports in school. I wanted to.
You did? Okay.
I wanted to. I wanted to play basketball, and a lot of times when I think back on it, I really wish that I had the opportunity to really play or to look into other sports.
Yeah.
So, but I am a fan of sports overall.
Yeah. So my question is, how did you pivot into counseling athletes?
You know what? I always got a story. So I am a big fan of the Lakers. I am a super fan of the Lakers. So I believe it was 2010 when the Lakers won the championship, and they interviewed Ron Artest. Well, I don't know if he was Ron Artest or Middle World Peace then, but he said, I want to give a shout out to my therapist. And the light bulb had clicked. And I was just like, a lot of these athletes don't have anybody that they can talk to about their mental and their emotional health. And a lot of times, like even now, I see athletes. It's crazy. I can see when an athlete is going to get in trouble from the beginning, but it's like they're the stuff don't hit the fan until later on. And I'll be like, well, had y'all dealt with it when this occurrence happened, we wouldn't be where we are now. And not even with athletes, but also those in the entertainment industry, because I do have some clients that are former athletes, present athletes, and not even just athletes, but coaches, trainers, and then also I have clients that are in the entertainment industry. I had a rapper, I have producers and different things like that. And it's like with my book, The Balancing Act, is balancing your stage presence, because when you are on the field, when you're on the court, you're on stage, you're performing, and also who you are in your personal life. And if your personal life is not taken care of, it will overshadow your professional life, because I've seen a lot of athletes that they had the potential, but they didn't get to their mountaintop because of what they had going on in their personal life.
Right.
And I would say, to add to that, what you're saying is like the acronym for the word T for me is thoughts, emotions, and actions. And folks, they'll spill their tea and it'll spill over into their professional lives from what they're doing in their private life, because they haven't got any help or outlet for it. So,
and it's a lot of times people are scared to tell them no.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I tell people, you need somebody in your life that's going to tell you no. You need somebody that's going to tell you that you're wrong. Everybody should not agree with you.
Exactly.
And also you need to figure out why are you here? You know,
Yeah.
why are you it's like um basically, what are you trying to benefit from being in my circle? You know, I can understand people that's been with you since day one, you know, whatever like that. But it's like now you come in the picture, like, you know, we as athletes and entertainers, I feel like, and public figure people, you
Right.
know, you have to think ahead. You have to think two steps. You know, I tell people, you know, people that's in the spotlight, like I used to tell my athletes, like, you can't do everything that everybody else do. You know, because just say if it's 5 of you guys and y'all get in trouble, they're gonna pick you out.
Yeah, scope gonna be on you because you're the
Exactly.
one. Yeah.
And I also tell athletes that just because your name is not out there, people know who you are. And you don't want to be known because of something bad that you did.
Right. Absolutely. So you have really made some key points to that we should really, really think about. We've gone from the students to
Yeah.
the athletes, and it's so important in every arena, just like you said, even in entertainment.
Yeah,
It's very
you
important.
gotta think ahead, because you have people that, you know, they'll get at you just because it's you. Like even with me, you know, I see that I have to scale back a lot of times on social media, you know, because I realized people were attacking me because it's just me. And I'm like, what did I do to you? And even people that I did know, but there are people that I don't know, they know me.
Right.
You know, so it's like I have to be real mindful, because even though I'm a therapist and I'm all these great people, I told y'all I like Curtis Jackson. So it's something in me, like I will clap back, but I had to think about, I have a lot to lose. So instead of me clapping back at that person, I will remove myself.
Exactly.
I won't respond. I'll delete. I'll make a phone call. Somebody else do it. No, I'm just playing. But so but yeah, but even I have to be very, very mindful.
Right. Now with my second question, you know, in us talking about that, I see you do a lot of promoting awareness in the community, as well as cancel student athletes. You have clients, and so many of us who have our own business. We're doing this. We're doing this. We're doing this. Some of them have a full-time job, like I do, and there is always the chance of you getting burnt out. So, what do you do to keep yourself balanced and to sustain your own mental health?
Um, I will unplug. I'll take a break, because I do have a lot that I have going on. It is a lot, and sometimes a lot of stuff, I'm either multitasking or stuff get forgotten. So what I would do is I would just stop. I would stop. I will go outside. I'll get some fresh air. I will watch a movie, just like, you know. And when I watch stuff that has nothing to do with what I do. There are certain shows that I won't watch because I'm like, it's a part of what I do. So I will watch something else, or, you know, I'll go to the movies, I'll go to shows. Like I will do something just to get away. One thing that I love to do is that I love to travel. But a lot of times when I do travel, even like it's something with business, I still try to make some fun out of it.
Right.
But it's really just unplugging. And a lot of times we don't know how to unplug. We don't know how to refill our own cup, because a lot of times we don't fill our cup up. We will get the liquid in our cup, but we'll turn our cup sideways. So whatever's supposed to be for us, we're giving it away.
And I can say I have been guilty of that at times. And I know a couple of years ago, I decided to do just that. Hadn't had a vacation in years. And I was doing a play, got through doing a play, did a youth leadership coaching program, got through doing that, started doing the play again, the encore, and then was getting ready to start doing my conference. And I was like, this ain't working.
Yeah.
This ain't working. So
Yeah.
it's okay, listeners, it's okay to take a break.
It is, because there was a time where I used to take the last Friday of the month and I wouldn't see any clients. Like, I wouldn't do nothing. Like, I would go somewhere, I'd watch a movie, and the plan was to start going on trips, but I stopped that because my businesses started growing. So I may not do a whole day, but I do take the time out to where I'm not going to do anything. And just because I'm off does not mean that I'm on for you.
Right.
Like, my off day is my off day. This for me.
Period.
Yeah.
It's called boundaries.
Yeah, you got to digress when you got a lot going on. I know one of the things I like to do, and there's many things I like to do, but one of the things I like to do is travel. And then sometimes just working out, besides it being in my regular regiment, just working out to kind of like not let the stress build up or get overwhelmed or whatnot. So definitely. So my question, since you're on the CAP, and the acronym is C.A.P, Cultivate, Accumulate, Prosper. My cultivate question is this: how did you cultivate your profession into all the endeavors you have achieved?
You know what? I made sure that everything. Okay, so my tree is mental health. Mm-hmm. Actually, that's the foundation, the tree. All of the but there are branches that extend to it, and whatever I do, it has to be a part of the tree.
Okay.
If that makes any sense, because I just came up with this analogy. So, and there have been times where I attempted to do things and I wasn't successful at it. And I realized I wasn't successful at it because that's not what I really wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like anything that I do, it has to make sense to me. It don't have to make sense to you.
Right.
It has to make sense to me. But then I also learned that some of the things that I was not successful at, I still got something out of it that benefited me and my business. So it's like, okay, so I do the foundation. So, not the foundation. The foundation is mental health. Okay. Well, one branch is, of course, my practice. Then I have another branch, which is my, I got to look at the list. That is my foundation. Then I have another one that is my book. Then being a wedding officiant. A lot of people, how did you become a wedding officiant? Well, I do couples counseling. Mm-hmm. And I am so invested in my clients' mental health in their relationship. It's appropriate, and with my clients, like a lot of stuff that I hear, so I'm like, so if you want to get married, well, who else to marry you than the person that really know you? So, so that's how the wedding officiant, my other business, the B line, was an inspirational product line where, my thing is about motivation, inspiration, and self-care, where that goes along with mental health. So that's how everything ties in together. So, and there have other things that wasn't mental health. I tried to make it. It didn't work. I'm cool with it. Let's go back to we don't even got to go back to the drawing board. Let's just go back to what I'm already doing. That I'm already being successful at.
Right. Okay, that does make a lot of sense.
I hope so.
And even when you came off the hip,
that came out the dome. Because yes,
those are some of the best statements too.
Yeah.
Then you need to put it on a shirt.
I know.
You know what I'm saying.
I'm write that down in my notes.
Now to the second part of CAP, accumulate. You have been in the counseling profession for over 20 years.
Yes.
What have you accumulated over the years?
Oh, patience.
A good one.
Understanding, learning how to not take things at face value.
Right.
You know, to get to the root of things. To learn how to really communicate, and not only with others, but with myself. You know, being a therapist has taught me to communicate my feelings. It has helped me to acknowledge what I'm feeling. And just being there for other people, and not only just not being there for other people, but having the ability to be present for those who need me, but I don't know they need me, and they may not know that they need me.
It makes a lot of sense.
Okay, thank you. Because I'm like, did I answer the question?
You got it. You got it.
Yeah, that's enlightening, Brandy. Now for the prosper part of it,
Okay.
how has your journey being in mental health allowed you to prosper? And it don't necessarily have to be monetary. It can be just how.
So, this has been a journey. It's still a journey. It was not an easy journey. Had a lot of ups. I had a lot of downs.
Some detours, girl.
Detours, roadblocks, obstacles. But I knew what I wanted. I'm gonna be totally transparent. When I stepped out, because I stepped out on faith real hard. Like I didn't step out. I jumped from one cliff to the next cliff. And, you know, when people say, you know, had the faith of a mustard seed, somebody told me I had the faith of a grapefruit seed. So I knew it wasn't going to be easy. And I think, like, during that time, I was just dealing with a lot of turmoil. And I remember one time I was just like, you know, life was falling apart. And I was just like, I said, God, I know it comes with this. If you have to strip everything away from me for you to place me where I need to be, I am ready. Wait, look, let me tell y'all something. God listens to you. Because I promise you, as soon as I said that, that's when I thought that things was falling apart. But I didn't realize that, you know how sometimes when you have a house and people are adding on to it, but then you have some people that have a house and they just knock it down and they rebuild it and it's a totally new house. That's what God did. He just knocked it down and let's rebuild. And it took me a long time to realize that I'll tell people don't do how I did, because I left. I had a job. I hated it. I hated it with a purple passion. It was messing with my mental health. And I was working in mental health. I'm not gonna name the name, but if you know me, you know what I'm talking about. And I left. I was like, let me leave before they fire me. So I was like, let me leave. Let me go back to school. Because so I went and got a graduate certificate. I was actually in another master's program because I needed some more hours in my program. So it was just like, okay, cool, I can do this. But even through that break, I didn't have all my ducks in a row. But I'm just going to say, for me, had I waited till I got my ducks in a row, I never would have left. I've gotten to the point that sometimes you just got to step out there and things will fall in line when it has to fall in line. You know, so it took me a lot, and I've had some more, you know, curveballs and things like that. But now I'm at the point where I know that I'm going to be okay. You know, I would say, as being an entrepreneur, just where I am now, my faith has really, really, really grown. Like, I owe everything to where I am to God. Like nobody else. Like, that's it. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm sorry for being long-winded. So if you know the song "The God in Me" by Mary,
oh yeah,
when the song first came out, I love the song because I was just like, that's gonna be me. That's gonna be me. I'm gonna be able to write the checks. I'm gonna be, everybody gonna be wondering how you do this, how you do that. But I was nowhere near it. But I said, but I kept this song. I kept it in rotation. I was like, I want to be able to sing this song and really mean it. Like, this me, this me, this me. And I kept it. And it's like, now when I sing the song, I sing it because that I'm not writing, well, I write checks, but it's not as big as I want. It ain't no couple zeros. It might be one.
It ain't happening.
But it's going to happen. So, yeah. So I was manifesting. Then this song really helped me manifest to where I am now and where I plan on being in the future, because I'm still not where I want to be, but I'm where I said I was going to be when I first started out. Like, I want to do this, do this, and do this. And when I look back, I'm like, you know what? I'm doing exactly what I said I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Sorry for being long-winded.
Oh, no, you're good.
You're great.
That's definitely a powerful testimony and answer to that question. So, you know, you gave us a lot of insight and wisdom to how you do what you do. So now we're going to have a little fun. We come to our segment called the Top 5. Anybody that knows me know 5 is my number. So my top 5, I'm gonna ask you this, and then I'm gonna give my take. But I'm gonna ask you, who are your top 5 female basketball players, present or past? In no particular order, but just your top 5.
My top 5, Angel Reese, Cardosi. I am now officially a Chicago Sky fan.
Oh yes.
Candace Parker. I used to watch her. Cheryl Swoops and Lisa Leslie.
Okay.
And there are others, but that was the top 5 that came to my head.
Okay. So we have some similar ones that I have. I have Asia Wilson, Dawn Staley, Candace Parker, Shamika Holsqua, and Angel Reese. Yeah.
Okay. Now, normally we answer each other's questions and stuff. I can't get too many female favorites in there because
it's okay.
You know, I'm not as into sports.
It's okay.
I am a fan of Angel. I am a fan of Asia. I am a fan now too of Chicago Sky.
Yeah, I'm looking for some gear.
Okay.
Yes.
But so my top 5, and we're gonna go with top 5 female rappers, past and present. Okay. So I'm looking at Queen Latifah.
Okay.
Don't judge me. Yo-Yo. I actually had a chance to meet Yo-Yo a few years back too. Okay. I went back, as you can see. I went back. MC Light.
Okay.
I believe my 4th one was some people, of course, won't know this person. It's a local Memphis person, and it's gospel rap Merc.
Okay.
And with number 5, so I said MC Light. I said
Queen Latifah.
Okay, yeah. So number 5, I kind of had like a little tie. And these are like 2 rappers whose music I don't just listen to, but it's some things about for different reasons. So, okay, so Nicki Minaj, of course, I don't really listen to her.
Okay.
But she had a rap that she did in Tasha Cobb's song, I'm Getting Ready to See. I have like memorized that thing because it's so fine. I'm like feeling it.
Okay.
So Nicki Minaj in that case, and she's tied with Glorilla because I haven't really listened to Glorilla's music except for Yeah Glow, but I'm loving her personality and how she carries herself, especially to be so young.
Okay.
So that's what I got.
Okay. Oh, 5. Okay. It's going to be a mixture of the past and the present. So my number 1 all-time favorite female MC rapper is MC Light.
Okay.
I saw her in concert. I rapped her whole set. Somebody was like, do you need to go up on stage with her? I will. My second one, everybody knows that I am a diehard Megan Thee Stallion fan. That is like my honorary niece in my head. I will fight you over Megan Javon Pete. We have the same middle name. So Megan Thee Stallion. Eve.
Oh, yes.
Eve. I'm gonna tell you something. After Eve, to me, that's after Eve, female rap kind of went down, and then it's back up. So that's 3. Salt and pepper.
Of course.
I will, assault with a deadly pepper is my favorite album, from them. And let me see who would be my fifth one. Glorilla. I am a big Glorilla fan. I was a big fan. I mean, I laughed at FNF, and then when I saw people were hating on her, I was just like, well, what y'all not finna do is hate on this little girl. So I'm finna take up under my wing. But yeah, but I'm a big fan of female rap. I love Queen Latifah, Yo-Yo, your list that you had. I'm gonna look up Mark. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, my top 5, not in any particular order, but I'm definitely MC Light. MC Light, Mia X. Who else? I like this young lady that she's more of a conscious rapper, but she has lyrics. Her name is Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like of course Eve. Like when Eve was with the Rough Riders and then she did it, so Eve
first
was
album.
Eve was a beast, you know what I'm saying?
It's a good one.
Pitbull in the skirt.
Yeah. And then like Queen Latifah. Like Queen had some before she got up into her acting, Queen has some things going on. Yeah, so
Queen.
That's what I would say right now would be just 5 past the present. There's a few other ones, but those are the 5 that come to mind. So, yep. Yeah, female hip hop is it took a dip and now it's coming back. It's in it's just in a different era. But you got some ladies that are, doing their thing or whatnot. So it's just whatever your cup of tea is. You got your hype. You got you got you all being ladies. You got your women that are being independent, not only in their pursuing business, but in their their sexuality and everything else. So it's never going to be a one size fit all. But you always have people. Yeah, that's not life. That's not real life.
With male rappers.
Yeah. So, but it's always going to be double standards.
Of course.
Not only with rap, but just with anything in this life.
Yeah.
But I'm all for someone who's trying to do their thing and just do good and not just not spaz out or try to hurt the culture or whatnot. Right. But people get caught up in a lot of stuff. So
exactly.
Yeah. So now we come to the segment where we give a little advice. You got 2 life coaches and a therapist on here, but we come to the segment of the banana peel. So Erica, go ahead and read what our banana peel is for today.
Y'all agree to get some advice today. 2 life coaches and a therapist. Come on. But first, before I get into that, for those of you who would like to send in your questions, you will send them to the C.A.P Podcast 3 at gmail.com. That's the C.A.P Podcast 3 at gmail.com. And right now, at this moment, this is what I want you to do. Stop and look at that red button right there. You see it?
Right down
right
there.
Up under the video. You see it. It says subscribe. Click on that button right there. Okay?
Click on it, people.
Make sure that you subscribe. Share it with your friends. And make sure they subscribe too. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you do that for us. Share it, like it, and comment. When you watch the YouTube recording later this week, comment on it. We want to hear from you.
Definitely appreciate the feedback.
Definitely. So now let's get into this banana peel. We are getting this from Miles in Dallas, Texas. And it says here, my daughter is the apple of my eye. She is 23 years old and a registered nurse with no children. Her current boyfriend is 12 years older, which is 8 years younger than me at 43. I finally met him when they came down to visit, and my wife felt he seemed okay with him. But I don't know what his real intentions with my baby girl is. She seems to be really into him. I don't want to come off as the overbearing father, but if dude hurt my daughter, I'm going equalizer mode. My wife says we got to trust her because it's her life. What advice could you give? Okay, Mouse, here you go. You said a lot in this. First of all, she is 23 years old, and for her to be a registered nurse, she has no children. She seems like she has a good head on her shoulders. She seems like she may be, can't say for sure, because of course I don't know her, but she may have some form of maturity, because you have to if you're trying to study to be a nurse and all this. So she does show that. That's the kind of era that I'm getting off when you speak of her. So sometimes I can say some women who at this age, they already have some form of maturity, being with someone who is younger or even their own age, it's not going to match at times. So, and then they say that women mature faster. So sometimes that's why they may, I hear you laughing, Jerry. Sometimes that's why they may end up with someone that's older. I would say, I would probably agree with your wife that you are going to have to trust her. You know what kind of girl you've raised. And I know that with a lot of parents, especially a lot of good parents out there, it's really hard to let our baby girl go, especially the dad. And don't think of it as you're letting her go, but trust her. Just like your wife said, talk to your daughter and see where her head is in the relationship. And you said that you met him and your wife seemed okay with him. Think about what you got from that visit, what kind of person he seems to be, and flow with that. Not saying to not be cautious and to still make sure that your daughter knows you love her and you do trust her, but to just be careful.
Good take, Erica. Good take. Miles, hey man, check this out. Your daughter's dating a guy that is 12 years older than her, which she's 23, so 23 plus 12 is 35, and you're 43, so that's 8 years younger than you. So I feel you. I mean, even though I don't have a daughter, I have a son, and he's grown or whatnot. But I get it, because dude is 8 years younger than you, so he has 12 years more of life experience on your daughter. Now your daughter is grown. You seem to have raised a pretty mature and decent young lady to be 23 and already be a registered nurse. But I get it. We look at things in a different lenses than what other folks or the ladies in our lives may look at. Because if it was the other way around, I'm sure the mother would be wondering why this lady that's 12 years older than her son is talking to her son or whatnot. But at the end of the day, yeah, your children have to live their life, but it's okay to be cautious, and it's okay to let them know, like, hey man, like, look, I don't know if you had that conversation with him just to see what his intentions are with your daughter. Not that he may be, hopefully he would be upfront and upright. That may happen, it may not, but you're doing right by keeping a watchful eye on it. But like you said, you don't want to be too overbearing, because usually just from us growing up or whatnot, usually when our parents say, hey, I don't want you doing that, what do most folks do? They tend to gravitate to that, because they wonder, why does my mom or dad don't want me to go here or talk to them or whatnot? So be chill about it, but yeah, keep your watchful equalizer eye on, bruh, for real, because you just never know. but hopefully the young man is gonna do right by your daughter, and they may turn into something else, or it may just be for a moment and it doesn't. But yeah, just stand down, but definitely keep a watchful eye, because I get it. It's your daughter, and I'm sure you have given her wisdom nuggets over the years on dealing with guys. So just kind of just see how she flows with that. But we do know when emotions get involved, sometimes it can be blindsided.
Right.
But just trust that you raised her correct, and just keep your watchful eye. But yeah, don't push the issue, because you will make her kind of go even further head over heels, thinking like, why is dad tripping? So definitely understand that, but definitely keep your eye on him, because you're 43, he's 35, so that's 8 years is 8 years, and your daughter's 23, and that's 12 years. So yeah, there's a difference. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna get a take from my esteemed guest, mental health therapist, Miss Brandy Flynn. What would you tell Miles, Brandy?
So much I want to say. Well, for one, if she's not in your house, there's nothing that you can do. She's grown. But my question is, well, I have a lot of questions, because usually when women date older men, they was missing something. Even if because we think just because you have a 2-parent home does not mean that your parents are present. Like they're in the house, but are they actively in your lives? So 23 and 35, yeah, 8 years and 8 is 8 years. It's not like you 40 dating a 48-year-old. 23, you haven't even started living.
Right.
You haven't. If you're a registered nurse at 23, that means you had no social life. You was straight to school, and now that you're involved with somebody that's 35, you're not going to grow in your 20s. It's like you said, she was already mature. Well, why did she have to already be so mature? Like right. She did not. To me, it seemed like she did not even get to enjoy. She's not going to enjoy being in her 20s because she's with a 35-year-old. He's lived his 20s. So I want to know why. What is it for her to date this older guy? Is it security? Because I don't mean no harm, but when girls date older guys, he has something to offer. I'm just gonna be honest. Money, stability. So it makes me question, right. What did you have? Because I'm gonna give you guys a prime example. The TV show Good Times.
Yeah.
You notice all the times Thelma was engaged. Because if you really look, and Thelma came from a 2-parent home, Thelma was trying to get out the ghetto. And it was always an older guy.
It was.
Larry was older. that was it Lou Gossett Jr. that played that? Well, I still don't understand why it was eBay, but it was always something for her to get out. So you have to look at what is she missing that she feels that she has to be with this older guy. Because I just can't see myself at 23 years old. I didn't want to date somebody that old. I just didn't. Like
I didn't either.
We don't. I don't care how mature I was. Like to me, I figured there was not going to be any type of balance. And I also question, why would a 35-year-old want somebody as young as 23?
Well, I hear exactly what you're saying, and what you're saying makes a lot of sense. But also nowadays, and even when we was coming up, it was always a sense of, a lot of times I know coming up from high school, a lot of the girls, unless they was talking to someone such as myself that was possibly an athlete or scholar athlete or something, they would talk to guys who was out in the community who were dope boys, who were a lot of times older.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
and
Security.
and so that trend still, regardless of what they had going on, and that trend still happens nowadays, for whatever reason. I mean, that nothing was mentioned of the guy's occupation, but I'm pretty sure he's doing something that was eye peeling to her in some form or fashion. But a lot of times, and I hear younger women say all the time, "Well, I like older men because the guys my age are immature."
Right.
And you hear that a lot. And then when guys that are older, you know, it's different. It's different angles they come with it. Some of them because they feel like they can be more possessive or what have you. Some of the times it'd be for other reasons, but that whole dynamic has been happening for a long time. But I get it. You know, that's him being 43, and true enough, his daughter's out his house, but you're still gonna be a parent, but you know that they gotta live their life, but you still gonna if you're there. But you know, so I hear exactly what you're saying, but I do know that trend has been going on for years upon years, and it's not slowing down because a lot of times, most folks who are of a certain age range, I just hear it all the time. I've had folks approach me that's in their 20s, and I ask them, I'm like, "How old are you?" "Why are you asking me that?" I'm like, "How old are you?" I'm 25, so I got a son that's 28, and that's the response I get. Now, if I was in a mindset like, I just want to have some fun, and but I know it ain't gonna be much that we're gonna have in common. But that is like a trend that has not stopped. Right. Where with some young ladies and vice versa with, of course, older women wanting a younger guy for various reasons or whatnot. So I get what you're saying. So it's double-edged sword with that, but it does happen. But the point that you made, does like make you wonder, like, what made her. But it's possibly because with her being so laser focused and becoming a registered nurse, dealing with the average 23-year-old guy.
Yeah.
The maturity is not going to be there. There may be some attraction, but that maturity, she's going, depending on, so, right. But yeah, still, that is a 12-year difference. That's a whole decade and 2 years, and dude is 8 years younger than her father. So, he has a right to be concerned, but at the same time, she's grown.
Yeah, she's grown.
Yeah, so he's just gotta keep a watchful eye. But I mean, it's okay to have a conversation with dude like, "Hey, man, really? To like just kind of get a feel for it, like what your intentions are with my daughter, in the sense of, you're not trying to shack bully nobody, but you kind of let them know, like, hey, like, like if you really not trying to be like there for her, and you just whatever, like, let them know, like, don't do nothing crazy."
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this: I know that people probably, and maybe people are not, maybe just me, like with Jay-Z and Beyonce, how he's older.
Yeah, he is.
Than her, and
I think he's about 12 years older.
Yeah, so that's another. She come from a 2-parent home. Dad was active and her dad is the reason why she's, where she's at now. So it's not saying that every situation is like that, but I guarantee that Matthew had a conversation with Sean.
I'm sure.
And it's a conversation that definitely needs to be had, because we're looking at, she's mature and everything, but it's still that thing. What are your intentions?
Exactly.
What is it that you see in this young lady? Not to say that it can't be real, right. Not to say that it can't work, because we're not right there in it.
Exactly.
But that conversation is needed to understand, where is your mindset when it comes to this? And also looking at, when you met him, what are you getting from him? There's so many different ways to look at that, because we can say where she is. Mm-hmm. We have no idea.
He probably the doctor at the hospital that she work at.
That's very possible. That's the thing. How did you mean? She said, "Go, girl."
He might be the neurosurgeon.
But Miles, yes, definitely. Follow your heart. Have a conversation with your daughter, but trust her instinct and still be cautious.
Yeah.
Before you go equalizer mode.
Uh, and that only needs to happen if, so hopefully he won't do anything crazy to hurt her or whatnot. But yeah, like I said, that dynamic has been going on for years and years throughout the world, but definitely in our communities. Let's just keep it 100. Younger girls, older men, older women, younger guys, for various reasons. Some people it'd be legit. A lot of people it'd be because they got ulterior motives, but it's just something that happens. And I mean, I know my producer here has a daughter, so I'm pretty sure, he probably will have his own perspective take on that. But yeah. So Miles, just
busting out the guns.
Miles, just keep your eyes open and hopefully everything works out with that situation. So now that we've had a banana peel, now we come to the segment of the show where we allow our guests to let our viewers and listeners know how they can get in contact with her for her services, her products. So you can have at it with your social media handles and anything else, Brandy.
Oh, look at here. Okay. Hey, y'all. Hey. So, if you are on social media, you can find my counseling page at Consult Brandy J. Flynn. My business is the1beeline@gmail.com. My Officiant page is nuptials_by_Brandy, or you can find everything on my website at www.brandydjflynnccs.com. And I do respond to my DMs. It is me. And I do respond quite quickly. So, yeah.
Great.
There you have it, folks. So if you're in need of any of those services, counseling, go to my girl. Now that she does wedding officiating, so those of you all who want to, get married and you're not trying to spend a mortgage, I guess, on an extravagant, long, drawn out wedding or what have you.
I can sign the paperwork and do the service.
Yeah. So you got different services, her Beeline products. Go get at her. So definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. It's the detours moment. But before I get into that, let me make sure that, especially with this episode, which is a very special episode, I want to make sure that I give this disclaimer to you guys. You guys, in a world where we have so much going on, we have so many people who are hurting, we have so many people who have considered suicide, and so many serious issues. You guys, make sure that if you feel like you can't talk to someone, get a therapist. Find someone that you can talk to who can listen to you and give you the steps to head into a better way. Contact Brandy. Contact some other therapist that you may know, but we're saying contact Brandy. But
and
please,
if I can't help you, I will refer you to those who can help you. And if it's at a higher level than I can offer you, then I'll refer places that you can go to.
Exactly.
Most definitely, to all the listeners, what Erica just said and what Brandy just said, definitely do that, because we're all here. We're all trying to cultivate, accumulate, and prosper in this life. So, and if this is not right and you're hurting in here, you gotta get some help.
Exactly. Now for the detours moment. So I was at church Sunday, right? And my pastor, it was something that he said that really caught my attention, especially dealing with detours. And that was, the prison is a part of the journey. I'm going to say that again. The prison is a part of the journey. If any of our listeners may read the Bible, there was the story of Joseph. And Joseph went from the pit to the prison to the palace. The pit was a part of the journey. The prison was a part of the journey. But guess what? He made it to the palace. He made it to his destiny. So all of it, the detours that you may be going through, the headaches, the dealing with the job loss, the dealing with so many things that you are dealing with, it is all a part of the journey. And if you don't give up in the journey and you stay on the path, you can most definitely reach the palace.
Those are very wise words, Erica. Words of encouragement that's much needed. So now it's time for the brain drop moment. And the brain drop for today is, in trying times, don't quit trying. Let me say it again. In trying times, don't quit trying. Look, everybody, regardless of who they are or what they have or what they do, have moments in their life of chaos, adversity. We all experience that. So that breaks down into trying times. Well, the one thing you can't do in trying times is give up and stop trying. Because if you, like it says in the scripture, faith without works is dead. A lot of folks love to profess their faith, but it's meaningless if you don't provide the work behind that. So in trying times, don't quit trying. Don't quit trying to better yourself. Don't quit trying to, pivot from one endeavor to the other, no matter how hard it gets. And as I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to myself, because I have to tell myself a lot daily when I get up and start my day. But in trying times, don't quit trying. That's the best thing I can drop on your brain today. So we have had a great show. We have had a great guest who's a friend of mine, who's doing a lot of things out here in the community of Memphis and beyond. Definitely, if you all need someone as a speaker, being on your panel or anything like that, get at me.
Or me.
At Linktree/Jerry Davis for speaking and anything like that. Then Erica.
E6 Coaching and Consulting. You can email me at Ephesians6pro@gmail.com. That's Ephesians, the number 6, pro@gmail.com. And I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. You can inbox me, and I'm always available for speaking engagements, coaching.
Okay. So, like, one thing I want to leave y'all, like I always leave you at the end of each episode. If you're going to be anything in this life, be for real. This is JD signing off. We're going to cultivate,
accumulate,
and together we all will
prosper.
We'll see you. Holla.
Peace out.
No cap.